There are many social media platforms out there and a lot of controversy around the use of data and privacy surrounding these social media platforms. You've come up with a new social media platform that basically helps prevent that and gives the power back to the consumer. How does it work?
So one of the core principles of a social network is that it's open source. And what that means is that all the code that makes a social network possible, it's open for inspection. So anyone can really see what we're doing. In that sense, we're transparent. And the other core part of the social network is that we don't do advertisement. And advertisement might seem a bit unrelated to the data issue, but the reason why social networks nowadays collect so much information and why it's so exploitable, it's because they need it for ads. They need it to serve you better ads. So by removing that component, we can really focus in protecting your user information. We're not going to expose it to any advertisers or third parties.
Well, that's two very good points that are very interesting that you've raised. The first one is open source. So having open source, doesn't that mean it opens up to competitors using the same technology and putting out a product themselves?
The open source license, we have a GNU license. And what that means is that if someone were to modify the source code or improve it or whatever, they're obliged to make those changes back to us. So in the open source nature, it's really only for revision, for making sure that we're doing what we say we are.
And on the revenue, how is the company going to make revenue? Because as you touched on, advertising is obviously the traditional way with Facebook that everybody's familiar with, and obviously the privacy concerns that go around with that. So how are you guys looking to make the money on the platform?
So we're introducing a digital currency. It's called a tip. And it can be used for many things. One of the options is for customization. I mean, you can customize your profile to look more personal. You can change the layout, add some widgets, and you're going to be able to buy those things through this currency. But not only that, we intend to use that currency for more and more usage, such as supporting content creators, subscribing to newspapers, articles, and eventually on the physical world. We want it to be something that you can use anywhere you go.
So you have the platform in place, and then you've got the capital in place, you launch the product. How do you ensure you have the infrastructure to be able to succeed? Because you're going up again, as we mentioned, against Facebook, the behemoth that has over 1 billion unique users a month. So what does that look like from engineers to the back-end systems?
Luckily, cloud solutions are quite modern and scalable nowadays. Even though we want to eventually move into our own infrastructure, we're going to start with using existing cloud solutions to be able to upscale basically infinitely. And that's our strategy. We're keeping it very lean with the team, a very small team, but very focused team.
So you've got it all in place and you go to launch. It's like then the last step, how do you convince consumers to switch over and use your platform as opposed to all of the other social media platforms that are out there?
Well, the simplest way is, of course, to the people that is aware on how their data is being misused is by simply providing an honest alternative to it. Like, we're not going to misuse your data and you can be confident. But apart from that, we're focusing in creating features that are unique, that set us apart from other social networks, where there's a part of customization, but we're also developing AR chat rooms and topic roulettes, and we're trying to break away from the concept of what a social media is.
And you've also built in philanthropy right from the get-go to ensure that 30% of all of the revenue, or the profit, sorry, goes back, and you're making sure that everybody is aware of that right from the start.
There's a huge economic impact with tech companies, and I thought it was time to have a company give back, like, right from the start, a certain percentage of their profits. And Openbook is a good company to showcase with this kind of thinking, because we really want to do good, and what better good there is than to support projects towards making our world a bit better.